the first thing which is there in the news is this one. Ex-Navy officers, nearly 8 people were been arrested and sentenced to death. So, here we have to understand the main thing is Qatar is not informing outside what might be the reason for their arrest, but information which we got is it's because of espionage, spying. So, spying is in one country doing spying, he might be of any level, doing espionage is wrong according to any country's law. Hence, 8 people were been arrested from last 2-3 months it is happening, and recently judgment was been given that they have to be sentenced. So, here in this context we have to remember one thing. So, what is making the government of India? What is making the government of India to have a quiet back room diplomacy, a quiet backroom diplomacy? We are not at all raising our voice. And the 8 officers, in that 8 officers, 7 officers are commissioned officers, one is just a sailor like a soldier, but 7 officers are trained at National Defence Academy, highest level officers. But those highest level officers were being arrested and sentenced to death. Then why the government of India is silent? So, the reason behind it is we are following one diplomacy. What is the diplomacy called as? Quiet backroom diplomacy, means slowly we are going from the backroom and we are talking with diplomats of Qatar. We are not coming in front inside the media and we are not criticizing the Qatar. You Qatar, how dare you to arrest our citizens? So, which citizen can go to Qatar, or if any Qatar citizen is present in India, obviously we will also take the same action. But in spite of that, they are not worrying that if any Qatar citizen is present in India, they will also do the same. If I do the same in Qatar, but in spite of that, the Qatar is very aggressively sentenced 8 of them into the prison. Death sentence was been given. So, what the government of India should do? The government of India should come on to the media, come on to the international platform and should criticize the action taken by Qatar. If they do mistake also, it is Indian citizens. They have no right to criminalize them. They have no right to arrest them. They have no right to give sentence to death without any clear-cut evidences. Without any clear-cut evidences. But why government of India is silent? Why government of India is doing back door diplomacy, quiet diplomacy? What might be the reason behind it? So, the reason we have to understand is highly dependent on LNG imports, liquid nitrogen gas, LNG, nearly $15 billion trade we are doing, means we are buying from them. LNG gas. If LNG gas India want, the only source is Qatar. If we go something against Qatar, they might cut LNG gas. So, very big inhibition, very big thing which is worrying government of India is LNG trade. The India is not having liquefied nitrogen gas, so we are borrowing it from Qatar, number 1. Number 2, in Reliance Retail and many more, directly they kept $1 billion investment in India. So, if we go something against Qatar, there is a chance that they might take back their investment, number 2. Number 3, 8 lakh Indians are working there. 8 lakhs Indians are working there, that too at the level of group 4 employees or below group 4 employees, like gardener, like kitchen or in a dining hall or mechanics. At the group 4 level employees, nearly 8 lakhs. The population itself is somewhere around 1 crore. In that 8 lakhs means how much percentage? 8%. That much percentage of Indian population is present in Qatar. So, 8 lakhs laborers are present in Qatar, Indian. So, because of these 3 things, if we India speak very ferociously, if they make a policy that no Indian should live in Qatar, then what will happen to these 8 lakh laborers? What will happen to this 8 lakh family? What will happen to the $1 billion investment? What will happen? Mainly the biggest concern is LNG. So, because of this we are having, so in any question when there is international relations question of your GS2, where polity, governance and international relations, what type of diplomacy we have to act. So, diplomacy is not one, diplomacy will be changing situation to situation, situation to situation. For example, Now what stand we have to take? Now what stand we have to take with respect to Israel? Israel supported India with Kashmir issue. Israel supported multiple times. Israel supported India in Kashmir issue. Now this Gaza issue, whether India should support Israel or India should support Palestine, two problems are there. 15%, approximately 15% of Indian population are Muslims. If the government of India supports Israel, 15% of Indian population get hurted. If we support Palestine, then the Israel will think has been betrayed. Why? Because I supported you in the Kashmir issue, that you in the United Nations organization. And the Israel is the forefront in supporting permanent seat for UNSC Security Council. Israel is supporting India to get United Nations Security Council permanent seat. So here we are logjam. What we have to do, whether to support Israel or whether to support Palestine. Similarly, whether we have to support our 8 Indian citizens or whether we have to support Qatar. When we support Qatar, what will happen? The population will lose their confidence. The people who are living in Qatar will lose their population, their confidence. Why? Because today 8 people, we are 8 lakh people. So something happens to us. Then who is going to support? Government of India is not going to support. So the diplomacy will change according to the time. There is no rigid diplomacy which we follow. The diplomacy is called a circumstantial diplomacy. And the circumstantial diplomacy, Qatar is what? Quiet backroom diplomacy. Quiet backroom diplomacy. Next topic, which is there in the news. Center races. What happened in these 8 days? Center raised minimum support price for Rabi crops. You know, there is a Kharif crop and Rabi crops. Zaid is also there, which is in the month of February, January it will come. So Rabi which starts from November, December and January. And Kharif which starts from June, July, August, September. Now what we did? We increased minimum support price. What is minimum support price? First I will tell you. Before sowing of the seeds for Kharif season and for Rabi season, the government of India will declare a price which is called as minimum support price, which means that I will buy the goods, agriculture goods. How many? 24 goods like paddy, ragi, sunflower, groundnut, sugarcane, etc. all together 24 at a predetermined price. At a predetermined price. Not after harvest, before harvest, while sowing. So you will get confidence, some business is there. One person is there ready to buy. Who is that person? Government of India. So what the government of India will tell at the time of sowing, means now in the October season for Zaid, for Rabi crop. So for the 24 crops we fixed this minimum support price. So now you can go, you can sow the seeds, you can harvest it, you can get the productivity, you can get the agriculture productivity. When you get the agriculture productivity, you can sell it in the market. But if market is not giving good rate, when the market is not giving you the good price, then who will be ready to give the price? Government of India. That is called as minimum support price. Who will fix this minimum support price? Ministry of Agriculture, but under it there is a Cabinet Committee on Agriculture. Cabinet Committee on Agriculture will take the inputs from CACP, which is called as Commission for Agriculture Costs and Prices. One body will be there, which is called as CACP, Commission for Agriculture Costs and Prices. This one body is there which will be working under Ministry of Agriculture. This Ministry of Agriculture will recommend to Cabinet Committee on Agriculture, CCA, and this CCA will take the decision which is headed by Prime Minister, How much should be the minimum support price? So number 1 is minimum support price. There are 3 things are there. You have to remember that government agriculture policy has 3 important components. Number 1, minimum support policy. Number 2, buffer stock. Number 3, public distribution system. How our agriculture sector is, I am not talking about the poor people, I am talking about how our agriculture sector is protected by 3 reasons or by 3 solutions. First solution is MSP, minimum support price. Number 2 is buffer stock, means how much ever the productivity I am ready to buy. How much ever the productivity I am ready to keep buffer stock. For example, present we have a buffer stock of 246 million tons. but this agriculture season they produced, for example, 250 million tons. Approximately already I have 250 million tons and the productivity is how much? 250 million tons. Whether my buffer stock is becoming double? Already 250 is there, now I am buying 250, so how much it will become? 500 million tons. I am ready to keep the buffer stock, you do not worry about. You produce how much ever you want. That means I am not keeping any limit. I will buy only 100 kgs, I will buy only 100 quintals. I am not keeping any limitation. Why? Because what is my second solution? Buffer stock. I am ready to keep buffer stock. You do not worry about the productivity. How much ever you want to produce, like this. You come to marriage, you eat. How much ever you want to eat, you eat. I am ready to give now, you eat. Sir, I will take one parcel also. Okay. That is called as buffer stock. So, when that guarantee is there, whether people will go for agriculture or not. Yes. Number 2. Number 3, public distribution system. So, buffer stock I will keep, but how much I can keep? I will also pump into public distribution system. The same food grains I am buying from you, at rationed prices I will be giving to the common public. At rationed prices I will be giving to the common public. So, the buffer stock which I have will be reducing. Why? Because this stock I am pumping into public distribution system. These are the 3 things which are protecting the Indian agriculture. It is not only minimum support price, it is not only the public distribution system, but also buffer stock. Buffer stock means what? How much ever you produce, man, I am ready to buy it, I am ready to keep it as a stock. So, 3 things: minimum support price, buffer stock. So, exam point of view, we have to remember this 3, and role of commission is cost of production, demand and supply, price trends. These 3 things they will take into consideration and they will fix the minimum support price. Prelims point of view, what are all the factors considered by CACP while deciding minimum support price? Number 1, cost of production, obviously. Demand and supply, obviously. Price trends in the markets of both domestic and price trends, means market I will take into consideration, demand and supply will take into consideration, and cost of production. So, these 3 factors we can expect questions in prelims. What are the factors are, which are the factors responsible for this, what are the things which are guaranteeing the agriculture sector, means not only MSP, not only PDS, but also. So, current affair is for 24 crops it has been increased. For 24 crops, that means minimum support price we are giving for how many crops? 24. Committee on Marriage Bill gets another extension. A bill was being placed which is called as Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021. What it is doing? Already for boys it is fixed already 21, for girls it is fixed 18. Now, by this amendment bill I want to increase it by 3 years. So, I also want to make it 21 years. It is in the bill stage only, it is not made into act. So, why it has been not made as an act? Several reasons. Patriarchal system, member of parliaments are against increasing the age of women for marriage. Why? Because it is enhancing the burden of the parents. The parents want to do the marriage earlier to the girl and to send off her, so that her liability, their liability will come down, their burden will come down. So, member of parliamentarians are against passing the bill of what? Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021. So, why it is in the news? It is in the news because again a parliamentary committee examining a bill which seeks to increase the age of marriage of women from present 18 to 21 asked for further 3 months of extension, for which the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs had agreed. So, how many times you will agree? Why? Because 2021 the bill, 2022 completed, 2023, at least we thought that this is election year, so at least this bill will be passed, but again it got extended another 3 months. So, that means what? As per today, a 18 years girl can also get married, it is legal. It didn't become an act, it is in the bill stage only. As of now, what is the legal age to get married for a boy is 21. What is the legal age for getting married to a girl is 18. Increasing the age of marriage for females, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 provides the minimum age of marriage is 21 years and 18 years. By this act, what is that act? Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. One more clause is there. Understand this. If she got married at 15 years, for example, up to now, if she got married 15 years of age. Now she got knowledge that at 15 years she should not be married, but she got marriage. So now she can file a petition to annul. Annul means cancel. Now she got the information that I got marriage at the age of 15 years. Now, but the marriage should happen only at 18 years. If she got the information at her age 15 years, she can go to the court and she can get her marriage annulled. It can be 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years. Means 18 is the legal age. If she crossed the legal age also, but she got, understand this, she got marriage at 15 years. Till 20 years of her age, she can go to the court and tell that my marriage happened at 15 years, my marriage happened at 16 years. So I want to annul the marriage. Now, with this prohibition of child marriage bill 2021, we are increasing to get the marriage annulled up to 2023. Means, for example, I am a female, I got marriage at 15 years. Now my age is 21. No, I have to continue. I have to continue. Means I have chance only up to 20 years to file a petition and to get my marriage annulled. Now this amendment bill is telling that it is not 20, it is 23. So I have a chance to break my marriage on the grounds that I got married when I was child below 18 years. So now I will get up to 23 years. Till 23 years I can go and I can break the marriage. Earlier up to what age I had? 20. That means if I cross 20, court also will not do. Court will say you continue. Now the 20 years is increased to 23 years. So three things are being proposed. Number one, the legal marriage will be 18 to 21. Second one will be 20 to 23. They can annul their marriage. Number three, earlier, if the parents are involved in the marriage of a child, it was a civil case. Anyone involved, if parents are involved, it's a civil case. But now we told that in the child marriage, if parents are involved, it will be not considered as civil case, it will be considered as criminal case. It can be the parents also, on parents also what we will apply? Criminal case we will apply. That is what this. So why it is in the current affair? So again it is been extended up to India to outpace Japan economy by. Indian economy has been grown like anything. If you see here, 1981, $196 billion, 1991, $274 billion, 2009, 495. See here, doubled, but see here, 495 5 times, 2001 to 2011. Almost approximately 4 times. Approximately 4 times. It is mainly because of what? In LPG reforms, information communication technology. Mainly it is information communication technology, LPG reforms. Then from 2011 to 2014, 2039. Again you see, 2014 to 2021, we reached 3 trillion. 2022, 3.5 trillion. And we in 2024, obviously we are going to reach 5 trillion. 5 trillion economy is a very big thing. Any economy answer you are writing, you have to write like this. Indian economy, the dream of becoming 5 trillion is achieving soon. What are the factors responsible for it? First, you should know that we are reaching $5 trillion. India's GDP expected to rise 7.3 trillion by 20. Not only 5 trillion, we are going to cross 7 trillion. It will surpass Japan to become the second largest economy in Asia Pacific region according to Standards and Poor Global Market Intelligence. Means we are going to reach 4th place. Now we are in the 5th place and we are going to surpass Japan and we are going to come up in the level of 4th place. Any economy answer, such type of points you have to put forward. See, 5 trillion is a very big economy. Out of 175 countries which are being rated under Standards and Poor, we are staying in the 5th position. Is not a joke, it's a very big economy. India is the 5th largest economy in the world and 3rd largest in Asia Pacific region. Facts are important. The nominal GDP of India is 3.5 trillion, yes or no today? Yes. 3.5. And India overtake France and UK to become 5th, already we are in the 5th largest. Why? Because we overtook what? UK and France. The FDI inflows into India over the past decade reflects the favorable long-term growth outlook. FDI is also increasing. That means our economy is performing. What are the evidences? Number one, we are yet to reach $5 trillion economy. We are already in the 5th largest position. By 2030, we are going to reach $7 trillion. And by 2030, we are also going to become the 4th largest economy in the world. These 4 points you have to use, should not read more. These 4 points only you have to repeat. Now we are very near to the $5 trillion economy. We are going to surpass $7 billion by 2030. We are going to reach 4th largest economy by 2030. And we already surpassed France, and what are the, so someone will ask you, so how it is possible to India? How we can achieve according to Standards and Poor, one credit rating agency company, Standards and Poor, according to a credit rating agency, these are the factors which are responsible for this robust economy. Number 1, favorable demographic dividend. Favorable demographic dividend means working population is more in India. What is working population, sir? According to United Nations organization, from 15 years to 64 years. This is called as working population. The working population of India is 80%. So we are working more. Number 1 is demographic dividend. You have to permanently remember this. What are the factors responsible for the robust growth of economy in the country? Number 1, India is having what? Demographic dividend. Number 2, urban household incomes. Urbanization. Urbanization is symbol of economic growth only. Urban household income. Nowadays you tell me a person who is rearing buffaloes also, he is going on bike Activa. Yesterday only I saw. Means what? Income is increasing. Nowadays you cannot see any family not celebrating birthdays. Once upon a time celebrating a birthday itself was a dream. Now any watchman also, means it's a good thing, its economy is growing. How, sir? It's because of rising urban household incomes. Number 3, growing domestic consumer market. People are buying. Third thing you have to understand in economical point of view, we no need to search for the market outside. Ourselves is a very big market. 135 crore population itself is a market. We have a very good consumers. Like TV consumers we have, petrol consumers we have, gold consumers we have. Fast moving consumer goods we will tell, FMCG. Fast moving consumer, what? Soap, powder. These are all fast moving consumer goods. Very good market. Why? Because domestic income is increasing. These are all the factors which are responsible for the growth of Indian economy. First one, demographic dividend. Number 2,
increasing
urban household income. Number 3,
growing
domestic consumers. We ourselves are consumers. Number 4, fast moving consumer goods also increasing. Fast FMCGs. Rising manufacturing sector. Large and fast growing middle class. Digital transforming, fostering growth of electronic commerce, e-commerce. Rapid expansion of technology, 4G and 5G, emphasis of innovation and startups to government policies. These are all the factors which are responsible for robust growth of economy. On ease of doing business. Other thing is ease of doing business. So if anyone asks you outside, so you are telling 5 trillion economy dollar, now what are the factors responsible for it? Number 1, demographic. Number 2, urban household incomes increase. Number 3, domestic consumption. We are consumers. Number 4, manufacturing sector. Number 5, middle income group people are increasing. Next, innovation, technology, ease of doing business, government policies are enhancing startup. Because of all these things, we are in the 5th largest economy of the world. A common thing which is in the news. Every at the time of elections, this will be the agenda. Now Andhra Pradesh people are fighting like anything for old pension scheme, OPS. But the central government is telling that new pension scheme is good. New pension scheme is good. But Jagananna came with an innovative idea called as GPS. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister came up with a new idea called as GPS. Guaranteed pension system. What is this? I will tell you. Old pension system. Before 2004, January 1st. Simple. Before January 1st, 2004, all the government employees, state government, central government, public sector undertakings, all the government employees used to have old age pension schemes, which means that employee no need to contribute anything. I used to get complete salary. At the time of retirement, how much amount I am drawing, from that 59% will be paid as pension. I will not contribute, not a single rupee I will contribute. Old pension scheme. Means if 100 rupees is my salary, 100 rupees I will get. Leave taxes. Tax from beginning tax will be there. 100 rupees I am getting 100 rupees. Then in 2004, January 1st, the BJP government only, they thought that this is a very huge burden on the central government as well as state governments. What they told, now why so much of burden? Why we should give from exchequer? Why? Because he already got retired. Then what we will do, when he is employed, from that employment only we will take some amount. For example, I will take 10 rupees and 10 rupees government will contribute. So 10 rupees will be government will be contributing, 10 rupees he will be contributing, like savings. The 20 rupees per month will be saved in a Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority, PFRDA. That money will become a very big pool of money. From that pool of money only we will be paying the pension. That is called as new pension system, which is active since 2004 January 1st. But Andhra Pradesh government employees are against the government for new pension system. Why? Because the government of Andhra Pradesh had demanded, or in the manifesto they told that we will remove NPS and we will come with OPS. Now the election time came, so they are doing lot of dharnas and everything. So now the government of Andhra Pradesh came up with a innovative idea called as GPS. That is called as guaranteed pension system. What is this guaranteed pension system? Simple. Guaranteed pension system. From your salary, you contribute 10% of your salary. I will contribute 23% and it will become how much? 33%. NPS what? You contribute how much? Same amount I will contribute. If you contribute 10%, I will also contribute. But GPS is you contribute 10%, I will contribute 23%, overall become 33%. Employees will get a guaranteed pension of 33% of their last drawn salary if they contribute 10% of their monthly salary. No sir, I want 40% of my monthly salary. Then what you do? You contribute 14%. I will contribute 26%. You contribute 14%, I will contribute 26%. Means what the government is telling, you based upon your contribution, your pension percentage will increase from my side. Who will be benefited? The present government will be benefited. See, if I am an employee now I am employee. For example, if I am a central government employee, I am working in the BJP government now. The BJP government is telling that, for example, guaranteed pension scheme. Now you contribute 14%. At the time of retirement, I will give you 40%. So now 14% will go to whom? Central government. No, I am contributing means it is going to central government. But when I will get, when I retire, now the central government is getting some amount or not? Yes. From the salaries paid to them, from which 14% is getting to the PFRD. PFRD is a unit of central government. Whereas old pension system is, I will not contribute anything. So it is a burden on the government of the day, as well as when you are retiring, which government is there, that time also there will be burden on the government. Whereas new pension system is, I am telling that you give 10%, I will also contribute 10%. So what? This both will come in PFRD. This money will be there virtually. In reality, what will happen? Government will take this money and put investment in some other place. Whenever you want, I will give again. This is a major difference between OPS, NPS, GPS. OPS means no contribution, still you will get pension. How much percentage? 59%. New pension system means how much you will contribute, that much government will contribute, both will become a pool. When you get retired, from that pool only you will get the amount equally. That is new pension system. What is GPS? If you contribute 10%, then I will contribute 23%, both will become 33%. If you contribute 14%, I will contribute 26% and both will become 40%. At the time of retirement, I will give you 40% of your salary if you contribute 14%. This is called as GPS. Then why the people want to go with OPS means, I no need to contribute single rupee also. But still I am getting how much percentage? 15%. I no need to contribute single rupee, I am getting 59%. Now you people innovated and you are telling that you contribute concept is not there before 2004. This is the difference between old pension system, new pension system, guaranteed pension system. Bhutan and China make progress in border talks. This is one thing which is happening in international relations thing. It's a concern for India. Why? Because you know that there is something called a chicken neck, Siliguri corridor. There is something called a Siliguri corridor. This is called as chicken neck Siliguri corridor. What will happen in the Siliguri corridor? Here it is, Bhutan is there. This is China. This is complete is China. If Bhutan comes under the control of China, then there will be security threat to India. Why? Because they can come and they can have their military base, they can come and they can have their naval base, they can have all their bases in the Bhutan. So, if any relation between the Bhutan and China is a hurdle to whom? India. That is what we have to discuss about. The held 25th round of discussion, which has not been held since the previous round in 2016 on border is after 2016. Now after 9 years, the two countries came upon a table to have a discussion on border issues. Who are the two countries now? Bhutan and China. Geostrategic location of Bhutan is one factor which is worrying India. Proximity of Siliguri corridor to Bhutan. So if Siliguri corridor, if this chicken neck is cut, this thickness will be somewhere around 6 kilometers only. If this is cut, then complete northeast India we will lose. Just if we go and cut it, the complete northeast India we will lose it. On that cutting position, threshold position, what is present? Bhutan is present. Now if this Bhutan is coming under the ambit of China, so that means indirectly the Siliguri corridor also will come under the ambit of China. So geostrategic location, the Bhutan is present. So Bhutan is very important for proximity of Siliguri corridor to Bhutan, which connects mainland India with the northeast India. If this Siliguri corridor, if this Bhutan gives support to China, obviously the Siliguri corridor means this neck will come under the ambit of China. Third, Doklam tri-junction between the India, China and Bhutan. There is an issue called as Doklam junction. There is one particular junction here called as Doklam junction. China is claiming that it belongs to me. Bhutan is claiming that it belongs to me. India is claiming it belongs to me. So there is an issue between the three countries regarding one particular area called as Doklam. I am explaining you about the issues between India and Bhutan. If the Bhutan supports China, what will happen to India? Swap agreement between Bhutan and China. Swap agreement can include exchange of land parcels. So there is something called as swap agreement. Listen carefully. Bhutan is telling that there are some areas in China, there are some patches of land which belongs to Bhutan historically, but they are geographically present in China. China is telling that there are some geographies in Bhutan which are historically part of China. Then what we will do? We will do a swapping. What we will do? You give me the area which is present inside the Bhutan to China. I will give you the areas which is present inside the China to Bhutan. So that means what happened? The China will become part of Bhutan. When the India is there, so swapping agreement is there between Pakistan and India, for example. So if India is telling that I want Islamabad, if Pakistan asks that I want Delhi, okay, take Delhi and give me Islamabad. Whether the bordering areas of Delhi will be having a threat or not. The bordering areas, the bordering states will have threat or not. Why? Because other power is coming into the Delhi. Whether Islamabad neighboring areas will have threat or not. Why? Because India is going into the Islamabad. Similarly, in China where the regions are present, if China give it to the Bhutan and Bhutan give it to the China, means in Bhutan geography, now who is coming? Legally. If legally China comes into the Bhutan area, then what first it will do? It will establish an air force base. It will establish a military base. It will create its defense infrastructure. It will install all the missiles. So it's a threat to whom? India. So swapping agreement is worrying India. So if anyone asks why India is worried because of the relationship between Bhutan and China, number 1, Siliguri corridor, number 2, Doklam issue, number 3, swap agreement, number 4, Bhutan itself is located in the geostrategic location. These are the 4 things which are very worrying. But India is Bhutan's largest trading partners and Bhutan's major export destination is India. India is assisting Bhutan in realizing its hydropower potential. If you yesterday only, this IPS passing out parade happened. Nearly 6 police officers of Bhutan, they get training in National Police Academy. We also train them. In Labasana, Bhutan officers will come. Nepal officers will come. In our National Police Academy IPS training, when our IPSs are getting training, the Bhutan police forces also will get training. So much strong relationship we have. But now China will come and tell that, hey, why you are going there, come, I will also give you training. Then slowly see, if the Bhutan police officers get training in India, whether they will associate, emotionally they will associate or not. Yes. Why? Because they are the real time heroes, no, they will be the people who will be present on the ground. Many Bhutanese students come to India for higher education. India has assisted Bhutan in renewable energy, forest conservation. India shares bordering Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Assam and West Bengal. What are the bordering states of Bhutan with India? Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Assam, and these are the 4 states which are sharing border. AA, ASW, or Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Sikkim, and West Bengal. But saw it is. I saw, it is I saw. Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Next thing which is in the news. Center to introduce DNA face matching systems at police stations. A very important act was being passed in 2022 silently. Very important legislation. See, the country runs not on the judiciary. The country runs not on the government. The country runs not on the executive. The country runs on legislations. And the biggest legislation is constitution. And the others are legislations. అంటే ఏది జరిగినా చట్ట ప్రకారంగానే జరగాలి అన్నమాట. Now in 2022 silently one act was being passed which is called as Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022. This act is giving legal power to a police boss. Is giving a legal power to police powers or police people to get DNA, to get a face. These are all my privacy things, no? DNA, face matching, my private things, my blood, everything. So is it not violation of privacy? By a law, we give our private things to, our privacy things to police department. Earlier to 2022, they used to get permission from the court. Then only they can take. Are you getting my point? They will tell, no, in cinema movies, I got court record, now you give me. Now there is no requirement of taking permission from the court. Directly any police officer at the level of DSP and above can take the, how? By making an act called as Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2020. Under Criminal Procedure Identification Act, the law enables police and central investigation agencies to collect, store and analyze physical and biological samples including retina, iris scan of arrested persons. The rules empower the NCRB, National Crime Reports Bureau, to specify guidelines for taking measurements and handling, storage, processing, matching, destruction. So everything. 2022 the bill act was been made, now it got implemented. From this week it got implemented. Now the police people are having exclusive powers. They can take your iris scan, they can take your retina, they can take your semen, they can take your blood, they can take your DNA, they can take your all the samples. Earlier not allowed. Earlier not allowed. Now that means what? Our data is under the mercy of, under whose control it will be stored? National Crime Reports Bureau. See, in prelims sometimes, not sometimes, 2 questions are asking from some institutions like SEBI, IRDA, PFRDA, what are the functions of it? Previous question 2021, FSSAI, Food Safety Standards Authority of India. Compulsory there will be a question, Consumer Protection, Central Consumer Protection Board, CCP, Similarly, we can expect a question on National Crime Reports Bureau. If you are a person reading newspaper, in 2 days compulsory in one article there will be report on NCRB, National Crime Reports Bureau. Some facts you remember. Set up in 1986, National Crime Reports Bureau, what it will do? It will make the report, it will analyze, it will give the report how many SC cases are there, how many ST cases are there, how many sexual assault cases are there, how many child abuse are there. Those complete report will be made by NCRB. Means what? It's a think tank. It's a think tank, it's a statistical body and advisory body. If it need to advise means it should think first. So it's a think tank. It's a think tank, it's an advisory body as well as a statistical body. Established in the year 1986 under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Functions as repository of information on crime and criminals as to assist the investigators in linking crime to the preparators. The complete data will be present with whom? NCRB, number 1. Number 2, designated as a central nodal agency to manage technical and operational functions of online cybercrime reporting portal. What are all the functions of NCRB? Each point you have to remember. What are all the functions of NCRB? Number 1, it takes the data, it stores the data, it keeps the data, it analyzes the data, it advises the data. Number 1. Number 2, it is the head of online cybercrime reporting portal. All the cybercrime related information will be going to first NCRB. Number 2. Number 3, interoperable criminal justice system has also been given to the NCRB. Interoperable criminal justice system. For example, you became an IPS officer. First, you will write an FIR, no? An FIR number will be there. So, this is called as interoperable criminal justice system. In that website, if I go and if I enter the FIR number, FIR numbers will be for every police station serial number 1 to infinity. That year means 4 by 2023, 46 by 2023 or 89 by 2023, that will be the FIR numbers. Police station name and FIR number, if I enter, the crime, the accused, the complainant, all the details will come. So, these all are under which system? Interoperable criminal justice system. But it is under which control? NCRB. This is accessible to whom? The police stations as well as judiciary. Who will be controlling it? Who will be regulating it? Who will be operating it? NCRB. Interoperable criminal justice system. Interoperable criminal justice system seeks to integrate the 5 pillars of the system, that is police through crime and criminal tracking and network system, 2 electronic forensics, 3 court for courts, 4th electronic prosecution for public prosecution, 5th electronic prisons for prisons. It is integrating how many? 5. Number 1 police, number 2 e-forensics, number 3 e-courts, number 4 e-prosecution, number 5 e-prisons. That's it. Remember only words. Number 1 police, e-forensics, e-courts, e-prosecutor, e-prisons. These are the 5 things which are present in interoperable criminal justice system, which is part of prelims. Which of the following is not part of ICJS? Which of the following is not part of NCRB also? What are the part of NCRB or ICJS? Number 1 police, e-courts, e-forensics, e-prosecution, e-prisons. How, sir? I will tell you. Mulaqat. In COVID times, you know mulaqat. One person is arrested and went to the jail also. I want to meet him. In COVID times, people who want to meet, they used to go to this e-prison website, which is working under interoperable criminal justice system under NCRB. They used to apply. COVID we cannot go, no. Then they used to deliver the Zoom link. Then in the Zoom link, the person who is related or our relative who is in the jail, they used to have a video conference. At the time, it helped a lot. Electronic prisons in COVID times, mulaqat was not there. People were not allowed to directly interact with the prisoners. So, e-prison. How system? ICJS system. Under which system? Supreme Court asked states to appoint officers under POSH. POSH is something very important. POSH. Prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. Prevention of sexual harassment at workplace 2013, whereby prevention, prohibition and redressal, 3 things will be there. Prevention, we have to prevent sexual harassment at workplace. Not only prevention, we have to prohibit it. And if it happened, then we have to redress it. So, 3 things will be there. Prevention, prohibition, redressal. Under this Act 2013, they told that for every district there should be one nodal officer according to the Act. That nodal officer will be taking care about this sexual harassment cases which are happening in the workplace. But the Supreme Court identified that 70% of the districts in India are not having the nodal officers who are taking care about POSH. So, it told that Supreme Court told immediately, please appoint the nodal officers for POSH. So, what is the benefit? If I am a female employee, so sexual harassment happened at workplace, there is one nodal officer. So, directly I can call him and I can tell my problem. But if I go to police station, I don't know how they behave. If nodal officer is there, exclusive officer is there, then my grievance will be redressed. But that officer is not there. If a nodal officer is there, only for that particular purpose, whether it is easy to reach him or tough to reach him. If a police station is there, if I go and he will tell you go there, you go there, you go there, finally nowhere. So, if a nodal officer is there, directly we will go, who is the officer taking care about POSH? That person, okay, directly I will talk to him. So, the redressal of the grievances will be easy. The sexual harassment of women at workplace, prevention, prohibition and redressal. Prevention, prohibition and redressal. States to appoint an officer in every district. The Act defines sexual harassment at workplace and creates a mechanism for redressal of complaints. It also provides safeguards for false or malicious charges. Sometimes there are female employees To take revenge also they will file. The government officials, you should also be very aware. So, for any false complaint also there will be a solution under this particular act. The district officer is a nodal officer. The complaints committee have the powers of civil courts for gathering evidence. So, first this local committee will be there. Under the guidance of district officer, they will find the legalities, they will find the evidence, they will find the truth, and if it is true, then they will send it to the police station, then the police people will file a FIR, then the procedure will be criminal procedure. This is called as prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. Sir, what all comes under Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act? Knowledge I am giving you, listen. What all called as sexual harassment at workplace? Number 1, sexual remarks, yes, sexual harassment. Showing obscene material in the mobile phones is also sexual harassment, it should be called. Sexual touch called as sexual harassment. Other than this sexual material, if you tell you cannot do, you are a woman, it is also called as sexual harassment at workplace. You are unfit for it, it is also called as sexual harassment at workplace. It is emotional harassment which comes under sexual harassment. So, the ambit of sexual harassment is very big. The ambit of sexual harassment at workplace is very, very big. So, before writing a government exam also, these all things you should know. These are protective mechanisms, revengeful mechanisms also. Does India need to tell the Dam Safety Act? Why? Why the news of dam safety came in the news? Kaleshwaram project of 1 lakh crore, a very big project at the verge of destruction. 1 lakh crore rupees money of public money by state government. Kaleshwaram project is at the verge of destruction. It is almost slumped down. It is almost slumped down. Once it gets slumped down, it goes on, that's it. There are various factors, see I will tell you. It is a Godavari basin. The dam is located on the Godavari river and they want to construct a dam. It's a good idea, but geology also we have to take care. But the geology where they have to construct the dam, anicut, it should have a strong soil, then only we can construct that much huge pillars. But the soil is coal. Why? Because it's a Godavari basin. Godavari basin is famous for what? Coal basins. It's a Gondwana land. Gondwana land is famous for what? Coal. It's completely Singareni collieries those are. So, what they did, they constructed the strong pillars foundation inside the coal. Coal is not that much strong, no. Coal they submerge, they go inside, it's a mineral. So, what happened? It started sucking down. So, the anicut which was been constructed, some put down, it's going down. So, eventually one day will come within 2-3 months, it will be destroyed. Why? Because it's a geological form, the land form which is very important. So, because of this issue, it is in the news. There is an act called as Dam Safety Act 2021. So, whether this dam was being constructed according to this act or why, another evidence is there. Glacial lake outburst flood, previous class I told you. Glacial lake outburst flood in North Sikkim recently washed away Tista 3 dam. A dam itself was washed away by this floods. So, there is a need to safeguard the dams. To safeguard the dams, we have an act called as Dam Safety Act. Whether this Dam Safety Act is seriously followed or not, a question will come now. Then how they are constructing the dams? If that is the case, what happened to the Kaleshwaram dam? What happened to the Tista dam? That means the governments are not following Dam Safety Act provisions. India has nearly 6,000 large dams, with 80% of them are over 25 years old. Mulla Periyar Dam. Are you aware of this? Mulla Periyar Dam, 100 years old dam. It is on the borders of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Almost, it's a masonry dam, means constructed with strong rocks. The hills we will have, no, in that hills rocks, with that rocks they constructed, masonry rocks. But cracks came, 100 years. If that Mulla Periyar dams, if broken into pieces, the complete Tamil Nadu will be flooded. A half part, Madurai region will be flooded, Mulla Periyar dam. So, these all things are talking about what? Dam safety. So, dam safety is it's not only about construction of dams, it's not only about irrigation, it's also about the safety. So, the safety is concerned, whether safety is ensured or not. So, hence act called as Dam Safety. The Dam Safety Act was passed in 2021 to address dam safety concerns. It established key responsibilities and national and state level bodies. For example, National Committee on Dam Safety oversee dam safety policies and regulations. National Dam Safety Authority implementation resolving state level disputes. Chairman of Central Water Commission head dam safety protocol at the national level. State Committee on Dam Safety, State Dam Safety Organization. These are the 5 bodies which are coming up under Dam Safety Act. When these 5 people give the clearance, then only the dam will be starting construction. So, if something happened to this Tista, if something happened to Kaleshwaram, so hence we can doubt whom? This complete 5 organizations. Classification, it also classifies the dams which are at threat, the dams which are critically endangered, the dams which are safe. Who will be classifying it? Under this act, National Committee on Dam Safety. There is another big thing which is called as Bannerghatta National Park, which is very near to Bengaluru. See, completely getting encroached. Bannerghatta National Park. There is something called as eco-sensitive zone. What is this eco-sensitive zone? Simple. This is a national park or wildlife sanctuary. From the border of the national park, from the border of the wildlife sanctuary till 10 kilometers will be called as eco-sensitive zone. So, what is happening in this eco-sensitive zone of Bannerghatta National Park, which is located in Karnataka, whereby they should not do mining, they should not go for huge infrastructure, but because of the Bangalore city is getting expanded, they are going into the eco-sensitive zone. When they go into the eco-sensitive zone, obviously they will impact environment. Hence, it is a national issue. So, where it is located? Bannerghatta National Park, Karnataka. Recently, the Supreme Court appointed a Center Empowered Committee directed the Chief Secretary of Karnataka to submit a response on the issue of encroachment of the eco-sensitive zone of the Bannerghatta National Park. What is eco-sensitive zone? What is eco-sensitive zone? The National Wildlife Action Plan of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change stipulated the state government should declare land falling within 10 km of the boundaries of National Park and Wildlife Sanctuaries as eco-sensitive zone under Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Environment Protection Act 1986 itself is telling that from the boundary of National Park and the boundary of Wildlife Sanctuary, the 10 kilometers will be called as eco-sensitive zone. If I declare any area as eco-sensitive zone, what will happen? Prohibited. No commercial mining, no sawmills, no industries causing pollution, no establishment of hydroelectric projects, no commercial use of wood, regulated, no felling of trees, no establishment of hotels and resorts. Commercial use of natural water is not allowed. Erection of electrical cables are not allowed. Permitted. Ongoing agriculture, ongoing, not new. Already who are doing agriculture, they can continue. Now I cannot buy and now I cannot do agriculture. Ongoing agriculture or horticulture activities. These are very important. Forget about Bannerghatta. They will ask like this. In eco-sensitive zone, what are prohibited? In eco-sensitive zone, what are permitted? In eco-sensitive zone, what are allowed? You should know. If you become a district, you became the district collector of, for example, Bengaluru only. Thereby, eco-sensitive zone is there. You should know what is prohibited, what is permitted, what is allowed. So, what is prohibited, what is regulated? Regulated means what? With some conditions you can. Prohibition means complete. Regulation means to an extent till you follow the conditions. Permitted, you will be permitted some activities. These are the 3 things: prohibited, regulated and permitted. Permitted means allowed in eco-sensitive zone. What are permitted? Ongoing agriculture, horticulture practice, rainwater harvesting, organic farming, use of renewable energy, adoption of green technology, etc. Bannerghatta National Park, geography, near Bengaluru, Karnataka, in the hills of Anekal range. Which range? Anekal range. It is the first biological park in India to have fenced, forested elephant sanctuary, a fenced forest sanctuary. Swarnamukhi stream, the main source of water for animals of the park is Swarnamukhi. For every such issue, you also go with geography. The geography, the Bannerghatta is in which range? Anekal range. And what is the water which is providing into this Bannerghatta is? But the main issue is now eco-sensitive zone is completely encroached. Encroachments are happening. Why? Because very near to Bengaluru. NGT pulls of Punjab and Delhi over bad air. National Green Tribunal, quasi-judicial body, which came under Article 323, Clause A. Tribunals under Article 323, Clause A. National Green Tribunal Act came in 2010. What are the functions of National Green Tribunal? Remember these acts. Why? Because everywhere the National Green Tribunals is very aggressively giving the judgments. Number 1, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. Who will be taking care? NGT. Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1977. Who will be taking care? Water. Forest Conservation Act. Who will be taking care? NGT. Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. Who will be taking care? NGT. Environment Protection Act. Who will be taking care? Biological Diversity. The 6 acts. Who is the regulator? If you read this properly, I will tell you, if you want to earn money, you read the 6 acts properly and cross-check with every building. Cross-check with every building, every class. Compulsory one violation will be there with each building. National Green Tribunal is giving judgments very quickly. Go and file a petition and advertise it. I am going to file a petition on you. NGT, if it's a very big real estate company, then please, first they will try, but still you are knowledgeable, empowered, then they will try to buy you. These are the 6 legislation. Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Cess Act, Forest Conservation Act, Air Prevention Act, Environment Protection Act. The 6 are under the control of. Now this NGT is very serious. Construction people, they will not do construction in the month of November, December, January in Delhi. Why It will become smog. Smog, S-M-O-G. Smog means what? Smoke plus fog. Already fog is there. Construction smoke will come, dust will come. So when the dust and smoke both are combined with the fog, what will happen? It will become more, it will permanently present, no? So that is the reason they will not, big constructions, they will not do in the month of November, December and January. Every year they will give a judgment. Now complete real estate is waiting for the judgment for NGT, whether to continue the construction or not. Once they continued, they will invest. Once they invested, if they give the judgment, don't go for construction for 3 months. Why? Because the smoke percentage will, stubble burning is also one of the reasons. Stubble burning, what? Paddy cultivation. I will remove the paddy, then I will get this straw. When I remove the paddy, I will get this leaves, I will get these stems, which is called a straw. So what I will do with the straw? I will put across the agriculture land and I will burn it. Why? Because it is a manure. It is a manure. So what I will do? I will burn it. But when I am burning, what is happening? Smoke is coming up. Where this activity is more prevalent in Haryana, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. So this smoke which is coming out because of burning of that stubble is resulting in more pollution in Delhi. Stubble burning contributes to air pollution. NGT noted the stubble burning during autumn, now winter season, is a significant factor contributing to air pollution. Again this smoke will join with fog. Hence it becomes, yes or no? It's permanent. Up to 3-4 months it will be there. Eradication, manual scavenging, Supreme Court tells, till today also the manual scavenging is present. We have to eradicate it. There is an act called as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act 2013. There is a Safai Karmachari Andolan and others versus Union of India, whereby all the manual scavengers job, people who have been doing jobs should be rehabilitated and everything should be electronified. Means the manual scavenging activity should be done by machines but not by men. Hence the Supreme Court again discussed about this manual scavenging. Rate cuts not an agenda. RBI remains extra vigilant on inflation. Very important. Inflation. Government, for government 4% of inflation is good. Inflation should be there. Then only demand will be there. When the demand is there, then supply will come. When supply demand both are going, then the engine will move on. That is called as Keynesian formula. What is the Keynesian formula? Keynesian will tell that you create a demand, then automatically supply will come. When supply is coming, then the demand will be continued. When demand and supply is there, economy will grow. Then how sir, what I should do? Nothing. You go and dig one well. People will come and started digging. Work is there. Digging happened. You start paying them. When you start paying them, they will go to the market and they will buy. When they buy, then there will be demand for something. They will produce, supply will increase. So the artificially when we produce, when we create this demand and supply is called as Keynesian economy. Why it is in the news means when economies are not performing, who should dig the well? Government. Government should create it. Hence demand and supply will come. Slowly government should withdraw. Then automatically what will happen? The cycle will move on. So for that inflation is important. A fixed prices should be there. Increase in prices should be there. And that is fixed by the RBI is how much? 4%. Remember this. Inflation is good, but up to what extent? 4%. Below 4% is also dangerous. then demand will not be there. When demand is not there, supply will not be there. When supply is not there, then the economy will fall down. Inflation should be there. But how much percentage? 4%. Which is a body studying and looking after the inflation? MPC, Monetary Policy Committee. A Monetary Policy Committee is an exclusive committee which is constituted under the RBI to control what? Dust suppressants. Important science and technology. This is what? Dust suppressants. What is this? See, mainly Delhi again. Delhi or urban areas, when the pollution, dust, smoke things are there, to control it, earlier we used to use water. So, water will fall on the smoke, dust and it will come down, fall down, but it is not permanent. So, now we are coming up with a new idea which is called as dust suppressants. Dust suppressants are said to be employed in Delhi to combat pollution caused by dust. Are typically salts of calcium or magnesium that can absorb moisture, or when mixed along with water is sprayed on the roads to keep the dust down for longer. So, dust which is there on the atmosphere will fall down for longer time. What is the machine I am using? Dust suppressants. Dust suppressants. Effectiveness. Use of dust suppressants when mixed with water is more effective in controlling pollution compared to conventional water spraying methods. So, dust suppressants is one thing which we are using nowadays in Delhi to suppress the dust, suppress the smoke, suppress the pollution which is present on the surface. These are the main importance current affairs which are present in this week. Number 1 is about naval officers. Number 2 is about MSP. Number 3 is about marriage. Number 4 about economy. Number 5 is about NPS, OPS, GPS. And next is about Bhutan and China. It's a worrying factor for India. Why? And why Bhutan is important to India? Central to it is according to this Criminal Procedure Identification Act of 2022. National Crime Reports Bureau, POSH, dam safety, Bannerghatta and bad air, manual scavenging, and the inflation should be 4% and dust suppressed.